I'm now going to let all of you know my story. I know many of you are waiting to hear it, so here goes. This is not easy to discuss, as this is my life. This is my ex's life, who passed away and deserves to rest in peace. My ex, like many, fell into hard times. The week of his arrest was probably the worst week I've ever had. I suspected drugs were being used, however, I had no proof. That night, before he went psychotic, he started seeing things and I realized my son and I were not safe. That night, I was beat and I knew we had to leave. Thankfully, he passed out, but in the morning, I woke with bruises, as I've had in the past. I tried to leave and he stopped me, so I made up an excuse that we needed milk. I chose to leave my son as I had no other choices in the matter. He was completely sane and back to his normal self. I felt my son was not in any immediate danger. I left and called my mother and explained I needed a plane ticket and we were leaving. I came home to my house surrounded by law enforcement. I was quickly brought my son. At this time, I was informed that this man I once loved was using shake and bake meth at the back end of our large property. He was arrested and charged for manufacturing and selling meth. My son was taken for me for one entire long week of hell. However, my son was quickly returned once my son's entire medical team came to my defense. My son, at that time, received 40 hours a week of physical therapy, behavioral therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy. All was in-home. These 6 workers and case managers were in my home daily for years, and they're still in my home today. They all knew me and knew to the extent of my care of my son. I retained a lawyer and fought back. All charges were dropped, minus endangering welfare of a person. This was reduced to a minor charge. This is not against a child. This is against a person. I accepted this charge and served 2 months in jail. This was 7, almost 8 years ago. My entire life since this has been devoted to saving kids and helping others in these situations. I have been an advocate for mental health and autism for years. I will not let the current trolls take me down in any way. Thank you to everyone for the continuous support and love. I cannot stress how grateful I am for those who took the time to hear the truth. Tommy needs to stop with the lies and wake up to realizing my son, who is autistic, didn't need this attention. He didn't need CPS interviewing us. My son is innocent, and if he truly cared about kids, he would have stopped this. He would never have doxed me. I am now a CPP refugee, and I will stand strong. And I couldn't be happier to be away from his narcissistic ways.